So good afternoon, Kathy and Stuart. So Stuart is the Director of Marketing and Recruitment for University of South Florida, and Kathy is the Assistant Manager, Marketing and International Student Recruitment Rep for Algonquin College. We are expecting 2 more delegates, so fingers crossed they'll join in a few minutes.
Someone is joined there. But I
Yes,
think to let
they're
them
participants.
Nubi staff, Anne is here. Is Christiana here?
No, she's not. So my name is Anne-Maria Bebe. I work for Nubi Education. I'm the Student Placement Manager. I also have my colleague, Anne Ifode, and she's responsible for the North American market. So Stuart and Kathy, I believe, you were communicating with Anne, and she provided you with information on this event, and she also forwarded the Zoom meeting link. So we're so glad to have you in this session. We are honored that you set time aside to spend this afternoon with us, and we're really excited to learn more about your institutions and to get updates on your action plan for fall 2020 in view of the pandemic. So as I mentioned previously, we're still expecting 2 other delegates. Hello, Nana. Good afternoon.
Hey, how are you, Anne?
Very well, thank you. Lovely to have you on here.
Thanks.
Great. So, Ma, we have Nana Bonsu, who's the Assistant Director of Marketing and Recruitment for George Mason University.
How you doing, everyone?
Oh, you're welcome. Good to meet you.
Thank you, Ms. Rose. Hope all's well.
That was good. How are you?
Good.
Yes.
And okay, we have Declan Opara, the Agent Liaison Coordinator for Arizona State University. Hello, Declan. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone.
Lovely to have you on here. So I believe we can start. We have all 4 of our delegates present. So good afternoon, parents, students, and our North American partner universities. As I mentioned earlier, my name is Anne-Maria Bebe. I'm the Student Placement Manager at Nubi Education. We are thrilled to have you all in this session. We're excited to learn about the 4 individual institutions as well as their COVID-19 contingency measures. So this information session will take the form of presentations by the 4 delegates. And after each individual rep has completed their presentations, we will move on to the question and answer session. Parents and students, there's a chat box at the bottom of the screen. So once the presentations are going on, please feel free to type in whatever questions you have. And during the panel discussion, I will read them out to the delegates for them to answer and address. So without further ado, I'm going to pass on to the Nubi Education Executive Director, Mrs. Rose Omonubi.
Thank you, Anne-Marie. Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for joining our second information session with our North American partners. My name is Rose Omonubi, Executive Director of Nubi Education. Nubi Education is one of the leading independent consultancy outfits in Nigeria, educational agencies in Nigeria. And we have been in the business of placing students for the past 16 years to almost all over the world, including the USA, Canada, UK, Ireland, and so on. I'm delighted to welcome everybody to this event, this great event. The reason for this session is to provide an interactive forum between our North American partners and Nigerian families in response to the uncertainties that the pandemic has posed to us all, and to answer many questions that are pressing for our families, because many Nigerian parents right now are worried about what's next and the contingency plans of the universities for their wards. So they want to know what the learning method will be, how the universities are prepared for the students if they were to join in fall, and then the learning methods, if it's going to be online, it's going to be blended, it's going to be face-to-face. They want to know, and they want to know how you're going to achieve that. Well, I don't want to take much of your time because we need time for the panelists to have to explain to parents what their plans are as far as the safety of the children are concerned. So I wish you a very informative session. Anne-Marie, can you take over?
Yes, ma'am. So I see we've had some new participants join. So I'm going to introduce our university representatives again. So we have Stuart Howells, who's the Director of Marketing and Recruitment for University of South Florida. Hello, Stuart. Good afternoon again.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Lovely to have you on here. We have Kathy Lee, who is the Assistant Manager, Marketing and International Student Recruitment for Algonquin College. Hello again, Kathy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
And thank you. We have Nana Bonsu, the Assistant Director of Marketing and Recruitment for George Mason University. Hello again, Nana.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon.
And last but most certainly not the least, we have Declan Opara, who is the Agent's Liaison Coordinator for Arizona State University. Hello, Declan. Hello, Declan. Hi, Declan, you're on mute.
Oh, okay. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, then. So I just like to announce some house rules. So for our four university representatives, you each have 10 minutes to make your presentations. And as the Nubi Education Executive Director mentioned, we would very much love to stick to time. And so during your presentations, once you've hit the 7-minute mark, I will mention that you have 3 more minutes left to conclude. And again, after the delegates have delivered their presentations, we will move on to the panel discussions. And so without further ado, I would like to please ask Kathy Lee from Algonquin College to commence with her presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's good morning for us here in Ottawa. It's 10 a.m. I'm happy to see everyone here. Thank you for joining. I will share a screen, a presentation. Briefly, there we go. Anne-Marie, are you able to enable me to share? It says that host disabled screen sharing.
Okay, I will just do that right away.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I've done that.
Perfect. Thank you very much. There we go. So assuming everyone can see the screen now? Perfect.
Yes,
so,
we can.
Algonquin College is located in the capital city of Canada, in Ottawa. And the building you're seeing here is actually our Construction and Architectural Technology School. And our motto, institutional motto, is to transform hopes and dreams into lifelong success. So I'm really hoping we can see many of you here on campus. Before I go into sort of the details of our own institution, would like to cover a little bit about Canada and Ottawa, where we're located. So you get a little bit of an overview on Canadian education, as I'm the only institution representing Canada here at this info session. So I'm sure many of you know Canada has a very high quality education and the cost is affordable. High quality of life, especially Ottawa, the city is often voted best city for newcomers to settle in, best city for students to settle. So it's a very safe, multicultural, and welcoming society. One of the biggest advantage of students studying in Canada is that students with a study permit can work part-time off campus or on campus 20 hours a week while studying, and they can work full-time during their breaks. So it's really a big advantage for students to earn a little bit of money to support themselves and also to gain work experience in Canada. Students can also apply for what we call postgraduate work permit after graduation. And this permit allows students to work up to 3 years in Canada on a postgraduate work permit. And this also allows students opportunities to lead into permanent residency. So there are pathways to permanent residency for students that wish to remain in Canada, work, and live. So where is Ottawa in Canada? So as you can see, on this map, Ottawa is marked with the little logo AC. We're between Toronto and Montreal, about 2 hours away from Montreal and about 4 hours away by car from Toronto. I know many of you know Toronto, Vancouver when you think of Canada, but Ottawa is actually the capital city. And there are many advantages of being in Ottawa. We're, as I mentioned, 4th largest metropolitan city in Canada. We have a population of about 1.3 million. It's been voted best city for students to live. A lot of green space, as you can see in this picture, parks, lakes. We're also one of the most educated city in Canada, because we have a lot of federal government jobs here in Ottawa. About 43% of Ottawa's population between the age of 25 and 64 has a bachelor's degree. And Ottawa is also very well known as one of Canada's most important IT hub. So about 12% of Ottawa's population work in the IT sector. And we also have very, very strong programs in IT, computer engineering, computer technician programs, as well as digital media animation. So those are very strong programs at Algonquin College. We have over 4,000 international students that were studying at Algonquin from all over the world, from over 100 different countries. Our full-time student body is about 23,000 students. We have over 180 different programs, program offerings. We're the only English-speaking college not in Canada. This slide is, there's a typo here, in Ottawa. There are many other colleges in Canada. In Ottawa, Ottawa is sort of on the border of Quebec province in Ontario. So, and our official language is literally bilingual. There's both English and French, but Algonquin College's teaching language is English, and Ontario's sort of official administrative work and everything can be done in English. So students who are wishing to learn French on the side, they can do so if they want to, but everything really can be done in English. So just going over a little bit about the different credential offerings at Algonquin College. I know many students coming, I guess, from Nigeria. We get both students applying for graduate certificate programs as well as diploma programs. But we do get questions about advanced diploma programs. Many students do get confused. Oh, why do you have a regular diploma and an advanced diploma? What does that mean? Is that a graduate level? Or so advanced diplomas and degrees, these I guess 4 credentials are all at an undergraduate level. So those are undergraduate diplomas. When a diploma is a 2-year-old diploma, we just call them a regular diploma. 3-year diplomas are called advanced diploma. And then you have the regular 4-year degrees I'm sure you're all familiar with. And we also have graduate certificate programs. A lot of questions we get from students is, are graduate certificate programs like master's degrees? Does that lead into a PhD study? So graduate certificate is a little different than master's programs. It's a very short 1-year program that's focused on a specific field. So we have graduate certificate studies in human resources management or international business or many different fields, but it really prepares students that have a college degree or a university degree to get a job in that field and in that specific area of expertise. So we do get many students, international students, that come to us for these graduate certificate programs as well. So I know you have a lot of questions in mind now for what is in place for September due to the pandemic. So I know the situation is very fluid in Canada as well. Although in Ottawa, we don't have very many cases. We are still under the sort of the provincial guidelines and things are reopening slowly. Right now, we've past the phase 3 of reopening and some of our retails and restaurants and small gatherings are being allowed. Our parks are all opening up. So for Algonquin College, what does it look like for September? We are offering most of our programs online. So the only on-campus activities that will be allowed are the programs that have a very specialized face-to-face component. And that's the case for a lot of programs at Algonquin because we are a very technical applied learning institution. Many programs will require students to be on campus to complete a practical component. So we can say that as of now, 55% of our programs will be delivered entirely online this fall. So this is a framework for fall. So it doesn't mean that students starting a program in fall will need to continue on with their program online. We're really taking this semester by semester. So this fall semester, 55% of programs will be delivered online. International students are not required to be in Canada to join these programs. As long as they have stable internet connection, they can join this program from home if they're not able to travel at this time. But they will need to have a study permit or a valid study permit approval to start their studies. So we just heard, I know, as I mentioned, there's a lot of moving parts and we are getting updates almost daily, especially from the immigration department regarding study permits. We just heard yesterday a new announcement that they are going to have a two-stage approval for study permits. So they are going to, for those who already have an application in place, are going to roll out what they call a approval in principle. So we are letting students who are in an entirely remote online program with either a study permit approval or approval in principle to join from overseas. 40% of programs are in combination of online and on campus. Obviously, for these programs, international students will need to be in Canada on a valid study permit. So these programs, students will need to be physically in Canada and they require a valid study permit. 5% of our programs, unfortunately, in this fall will not be able to run. And in those cases, for students to whom we have issued acceptances, we're helping these students defer to a future intake, either January or September. So what does it look like for students who are starting a program online? Well, we've created a web page. So our registrar's office has created a web page we call Important Information for Fall 2020. And on this page, you will be able to find by program if that specific program is delivered online entirely or online in-person hybrid. And what does that look like? Is it synchronous, asynchronous with live classrooms or not? So that detailed information is on the website by program. Every program has a slightly different delivery models. So students can go in there and check whether their in-person component is in the last part of their semester or is throughout the semester. How will that look like? Also, for specific timetable and courses, our timetable for fall is being released in mid-August. So when students receive their timetable, they'll be able to get on our platform, online platform, Brightspace. That's this platform we use for online learning, to see if their classes are being recorded or can students do it at their own pace, or will they need to be joining live real time. So all that information will be available to students. And we have created a separate FAQ page to help students navigate all this all these changes and online learning. So students can go on, and it's being updated as we get new questions. We're updating it weekly. So they can go on and see what types of support they can get. Are they being what types, how can they get textbooks? Are the textbooks being delivered digitally or not? So all those specific details are available on the FAQ site. We also have prepared a learning kit for students to help them navigate online learning, which is also available online on the Student Learning Kit site. So another important question in mind for students is, will they be able to get their study permits? Will they be able to travel to Canada, for this fall? So I'll go over a little bit of details in terms of the what the Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada has put out in terms of exemptions and restrictions for travel and study permit. So as of now, only students who were approved for their study permit on or before March 18 may enter Canada. So all others are restricted from entry. Although we're encouraging students to check the immigration website, often because we're expecting that the government will make changes to this travel restriction date to be able to allow students to enter for fall intake. But they haven't announced it yet, but we're suspecting that an announcement should be coming out, and we're encouraging students to check the website. And before making any travel arrangements to Canada, we're encouraging students to reach out to us early before booking your flights so that we can provide you the support. And, we're providing students that are entering Canada in August with support letters indicating that they're in a program of study, that they need to enter Canada, but all in order for us to provide this support, we need students to request this. Students can't just book a flight and arrive. So this is really intricate times for arrival support. And students arriving in Canada, they must have a plan to self-isolate for 14 days. And this is a plan that students will need to show at the border to the Border Services officer. We are also helping students in this front. We are supporting students with their plan to self-isolate, and that support will only begin August 15th. So students, we are not encouraging students to arrive early for this fall specific intake. We're not going to be able to support students arriving, too early for September intake in terms of for self-isolation and quarantine. So if a student is due to arrive for September intake, you will need to reach out to us to come up with the proper plan. A good news, though, is that the Government of Canada has announced that online courses, that if a student's program has been modified to entirely online format for fall, and if students take an online program, it will not affect their eligibility to apply for their post-graduation work permit if they have a study permit approval before the start of their program. And if they complete 50% of their program while outside of Canada. So this is, the government is being a little more lenient. In previous years, in normal times, I would say, students had to be in Canada to be eligible to apply for postgraduate work permit. But given the circumstances, and given the fact that many programs have been modified to online, they are allowing students to begin their studies and still have that time counted towards their postgraduate work permit eligibility. This is very important because many of our students are coming to us not only for the education, but also for the work experience that they can gain after graduation. This is the end of my presentation. We will, I believe, reserve some time at the end to answer questions.
Thank you very much for your presentation, Kathy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for completing it before the 10-minute duration. So whilst you were presenting, a note that I made is, in relation to the recent announcement by the Canadian minister with regards to immigration. International students, will be so happy to receive this information because obviously the ban on international flights has not been lifted. So students are, yes, very uncertain about whether they would be able to travel to Canada in time for commencement of fall 2020. So with the new measures that have been introduced by Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, I believe students will be so happy to know that they will still be eligible to work in Canada after graduation, even if they need to begin their studies online from overseas this fall.
Correct.
So thank you so much, for emphasizing, this. I would now like to pass on to Declan Okpara from Arizona State University.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Declan. I work with Arizona State University. I would like to share my screen, but okay.
Yes, that's fine, Declan. Please go ahead.
Yes, I just wanted to share a video.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, I don't know. Is my screen seeable now?
Not yet.
Okay. Mhm. Okay. Okay. And then share. So.
Hello from Arizona State University. I just wanted to tell you a little bit.
So we can hear it, but we can hear the video, but we still can't see it.
Oh, but you can't, it's not sharing yet.
Not yet.
Okay, just hold. Just 1 minute. The share button, I think I see the share button, but.
It should be a green button at the bottom of the screen saying share content or share.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I see the share button, but it's not working.
Okay.
No.
Do you want me to have another delegate start with their presentation,
please. Yeah,
and we'll come back to
let
you?
another get. Yes,
Okay.
then we'll get back to me. Thank you.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so could we please have Nana Bonsu from George Mason University? Hello, Nana.
Can you hear me now?
Muted.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, let me try and share. I'm also trying to share my screen, so just give me 1 second.
That's fine.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, so let's see here. Can you see the screen now?
Not yet, Nana. Yes, you started screen. Yes, we can see it.
Okay. All right. So I hope you guys can all see the Intumason with the video playing, yeah?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So thank you again, Nubi, for giving us the opportunity to present our universities to you. So George Mason University, if any students haven't heard of George Mason University before, we're one of the top public schools in the Virginia area. We're located just 24 kilometers away from Washington, D.C., on what would be called the United States East Coast. And one of the really great things about our university, of course, is the location, right? So if you think of Washington, D.C., that's the capital of the United States. And being able to be close to it, students have access to all parts of the United States. So whether you want to get into New York, Boston, Chicago, Florida, you have flights that go all across the states. Now, Washington, D.C. is known as one of the best cities for young adults to live in. So this area really attracts lots of young adults coming to whether work in the area, coming to study in the area, or just live in the area. Our location gives students the affordability to get easy and free shuttle to the metro. In Washington, D.C., you have the metro, which is a picture right on the right-hand side here. Now, the importance of this is a lot of our students, because we're located in Fairfax, Virginia, they do have internships. They have job opportunities in the DC metro area. So being able to be connected to technology, engineering, shopping, it's really essential for a lot of our students. I always joke and say that a lot of Nigerians have cousins or uncles in Maryland. We are just about an hour away from Maryland. So a lot of Nigerian students do prefer our location because of that. It gives students a chance to be able to be very connected with family and live close to the university, as well as to be connected with potential employers and internships all across the DC metro area. So when you look at our campus, we're a big university. We're 37,000 students, ranging from about 135 different countries represented on campus. Living on campus, we usually house about 7,000 students per year that are able to live on campus, both at the undergraduate and graduate side. We have 3 on-campus dining halls, 3 gyms and recreation centers. We have a concert and an arena facility where we house all of our sporting events. And the great thing is, as the sporting events, students get free tickets to attend all of these. Now, one really great aspect of George Mason is our innovation. We're actually known as number 14 university in the United States for innovation. We have 5 innovative labs, and these labs are open, accessible to all students. And we have over 35 different research labs on campus. We also do have 450 student organizations where students can join something like United Nations. You can also join something like the African Students Association, the Indian Student Association, Chinese Student Association. So all of these are available to students to participate in. And we have to definitely be notable for having the second most powerful telescope on the East Coast. Now, the importance of this is we have a partnership with NASA. So NASA does house this telescope on our campus, and it's open to the public. So a lot of students, public, can definitely take part in any kind of physics or atmospheric sciences programs that we house on our campus. When we look at our academics, we have an infinite number of academics. So we have over 200 different degree programs at the undergraduate, graduate, and the doctoral level. I'm just going to mention a few of the most popular ones. So the first one is our MBA program. Our MBA program is very rigorous. It's very intensive in terms of giving students both a global perspective as well as giving students lots of different options. So students do have a chance to learn and understand different fundamentals such as accounting, ethics, finance, marketing, operations, strategy, and technology. A lot of our MBA graduates tend to go work for consultancies, which pay over $100,000 a year just for students to be able to get into that area of business. Now, if you look at some of the outcomes, this is just some of what I was mentioning just a few minutes ago. Students that are graduating are working for government consultancies, financial services in the technology area, nonprofit, finance, accounting, consultants, and general management. And then on average, the class of 2018, those that went to work, you can see some of the average salaries. George Mason is actually known for being the #1 university in Virginia with the highest starting salary for graduates, both at the undergraduate and at the graduate level. And again, the importance of that is our location. We're located near Washington, D.C. So it's a very high paying area and a lot of really great and lucrative job opportunities. Another one of our programs is cybersecurity. George Mason University is ranked for number one in discovering and developing cybersecurity talent. If any of you are interested in the cybersecurity realm, you can study programs like computer science, information technology, cybersecurity engineering, data analytics, applied information technology. And this area is also very lucrative in terms of job opportunities. Washington, D.C., as you know, is the capital. So you can imagine the type of security that is in this area. We have over 200 different technology companies that focus just on cybersecurity. So again, it's very important for those that are interested in those kind of job opportunities. Another very popular program is data analytics engineering, especially nowadays if you think of international business, especially when I was in Nigeria in February, and I met up with a friend who had moved back, and she started a database company. And she actually studied data analytics in the United States and went back and has started working with companies to build databases and use data to solve business problems. This degree here specializes in that. So if you're interested in using data to help, whether it's healthcare, business, finance, government, or cyber analytics, it's a great program for you to study and get a really great lucrative six-figure salaries out of this degree here. Now, another very popular one is public health. I know a lot of Nigerian students do want to study public health in the United States. Our degree program requires a 3.0 GPA to be eligible for this program. And the great thing about our program is that we don't require a GRE to be eligible to study this program. In fact, coming from Nigeria, you don't even need an English, a TOEFL or IELTS to be eligible to study in this program. All you need is essentially your GPA of a 3.0, and then you can apply with your transcripts and your letters of recommendation to be eligible in this program. Another facet of this program is it also has a global component to it. So if you're studying public health, and especially coming from a country like Nigeria, you do want to add some kind of global health in there because it's going to give you a bigger perspective on in terms of using public health when you go back to Nigeria to work. And then another program we're also known for is conflict analysis and resolution. We are the #1 program in the United States for conflict analysis and resolution, both at the undergraduate and the graduate level. We've actually had a lot of Nigerian students come to study this program. On our campus, we actually had President Buhari's wife came to visit the campus and actually was invited by the conflict analysis resolution program. We had another student do some research regarding Boko Haram and the influence in Nigeria. And then you can see here, this gentleman is Nelson Mandela's grandson. He actually did his PhD dissertation in the conflict analysis resolution program. And part of what he mentioned is, just to give you some background, he was accepted to Cornell, Yale, MIT, and I believe Harvard, but he decided to do his program at George Mason University. And as you can see, what he says is, as far as my profession is concerned, George Mason is known as one of the leading universities in peace research. So all I'm trying to really get to is that our university is heavily focused on innovation, research, and giving students the opportunity to excel once they graduate and go for really great job outcomes. We spend about $149 million in annual research each year. One really great example is our innovation center called the Mason Innovation Exchange. It gave students, especially when this COVID situation arose, our students went in there using 3D printers. They were able to create face masks that were being donated to hospitals. And this is about innovation. Once a problem arises, our students really step up to the task to be able to help solve real world problems. And that's what our university is focused on. Another example here is a student that did research about ACL tears. ACL tears is the #1 injury for soccer athletes. And he was looking up on how he can do research and figure out how these tears happen to help prevent them in the future. So our university is giving students a chance to be able to get to a university that is globally recognized, known to be in the top 10 city in the United States. So Washington, D.C., being in your backyard, it gives you really the affordability to help get really great job opportunities and internships. Now, I do have to mention, as I mentioned earlier, our career success at Mason is largely imparted by the location. 82% of Mason graduates are employed within 6 months of graduation. I cannot stress it enough. As an international student, when you come to the US, you do have your OPT that you can use. So you have 3 years if you're studying STEM, you can utilize your OPT and stay in the US to work for 3 years. If you are doing a non-STEM degree, you have 1 year. So you want to make sure you go to a university that's going to be in a great location with the really great opportunities available. And that's what George Mason is really all about. So on the right-hand side, Amazon is announced that it's building the second headquarters in Northern Virginia. So if you think of Amazon, Amazon is the #1 biggest company in the world, right? They're scheduled to hit revenues of about $1 trillion. I think that's the first company to ever do that in the history of business. And if you think of Amazon, they could have put their headquarters anywhere in the world, right? So as you're making your decision, you've got to think of such things. Amazon could have put their headquarters in LA. They could have put it. They could have put the second headquarters in London. They could have put it in India, but they chose Northern Virginia, specifically Arlington, which is where our second campus is, because of the opportunities that are available in the area. They are looking to create over 25,000 job opportunities for high-skilled graduates. And I'm pleased to announce that George Mason has actually started the groundbreaking on our School of Innovation, School of Digital Innovation with Amazon. That's going to be creating a center where students can go and learn about computing, digital innovation, and we're hoping to increase enrollment with that with about 6,500 students by 2024. So that's an opportunity for you as a student to come to the United States, come to George Mason, work with a great company like Amazon. As they're expanding all over the world, it's really going to give you a great chance to get some really great opportunities. Now, this is the DC metropolitan area. So on the far left-hand side, you can see Fairfax is where our main campus is. Arlington is where our second campus is. That's where Amazon's second headquarters will be. Maryland is just about 45 minutes to an hour away. DC is just 35 minutes away. So you have this really great metro area with all these really great companies just in the vicinity of you. Some companies that have offices in Nigeria are like General Electric. You have IBM, which has offices all over the world. You have Innova, you have Microtech. So, really great opportunities for students to study in the United States. Now, looking at the fall, in terms of how we're delivering our programs for the fall, we actually are doing 3 different platforms. So we have all of our programs will be available. The only program I know for Nigeria is not going to be a bigger of a concern is academic English. We do have all of our academic English programs available for any students who may need it. But we do give students a waiver if you're coming into the pathway programs for TOEFL or IELTS, so you don't need to do that. But some of the direct entry programs do require you to have a TOEFL or IELTS. So if you do find yourself in that situation, you can definitely take the AE program. Now, for our undergraduate students who are in the International Year 1 undergraduate transfer pathway program, we will be delivering programs online in an asynchronous manner as well as synchronous manner as well. We also are planning to have programs in a hybrid manner on campus. So if you are able to get to the United States by getting your visa and getting everything in time, you will be able to take part in the hybrid program on campus. I hope all of you have been reading the news and heard the really great announcement yesterday that the United States government is going back on their word to not let international students take online courses. They've actually rescinded that decision. So students are able to take any different program or courses whether they're in the United States or back home in Nigeria. I think one of the big concerns is embassy reopenings and also border openings. If you're not able to arrive on campus in time, you can definitely, again, take part of the virtual online instruction home. And then when you come to campus in the spring, you'll have the face-to-face. But we will have all of our programs available. And when we talk about hybrid just means that you're going to have 51% face-to-face instruction and 49% online instruction. That is the on-campus option that we are having at Mason. All of our programs will be delivered, like I said, through online. We utilize Blackboard, which is a technology that is similar to what we're doing now using Zoom. Students will be seeing the professor face-to-face. And then you also will have sometimes where you have to deliver your course projects or assignments through the Blackboard service just by submitting it. But it is very similar to us having your teacher online with you like this, and then you are able to interact with your professor as well. We will be starting programs on Monday, August 24th. We are still accepting applications, so you can apply all the way to August 1st for you to be either online or on campus. And then the classes do start on Monday, August 24th. We're still issuing I-20s for all programs, so students can apply and get your I-20s sent to you electronically, as well as sent to you through the mail. If you do plan to arrive on campus, just be aware that you do have to go through a 2-week quarantine upon arrival. So you will be given housing on campus upon arrival. And currently, we're only providing semester housing only for undergraduate students. To be able to meet the social distancing requirements as a university, we have to limit the number of people that can live on campus. So this semester, we will not be providing housing for graduate students. However, our off-campus housing office will be able to help all graduate students with facilitation of off-campus housing contracts and so forth. Okay, and I just wanted to quickly just go over kind of what you need to enroll at George Mason as an undergraduate student. You just need a minimum 2.3 GPA. For undergraduate students, that just means that you have to have 5 passes on your WIAC or exam, and then you have to have a English, math, and a science, and then 2 other subjects. We cannot use language as a tool to measure your eligibility to study at George Mason University. You don't require TOEFL or IELTS at the undergraduate level for any programs coming from Nigeria. All you need is your transcript, your passport, and then an application. At the graduate level, some programs do require TOEFL or IELTS. You have to just, depending at the direct entry level, you just have to make sure you look at the requirements for your program. Some programs do require a GRE or GMAT, but if you're going through the pathway, you don't need a GRE or GMAT. Again, you can start your program online and then start, your face-to-face on campus in the spring semester. In terms of tuition, we are averaging at the graduate level about $30,000 per year, depending on what program you're studying. And then at the undergraduate level, it's about $60,000 per year. We do also provide scholarships. So we do currently provide on-campus scholarships up to $10,000 for students at the undergraduate and graduate level, depending on your program. But the way the scholarships work is once you have applied and have been accepted, at the direct entry level, we will send you the scholarship with your acceptance. At the pathway level, we will work with Nubi Education to get you some kind of scholarship for any students. We do offer progression scholarships. These are scholarships after your first year. If you do have a high GPA, you're eligible to get continuous scholarships for the next couple of years that you're studying as a student at George Mason University.
So sorry to interrupt, Nana. Okay, you're about to conclude.
Yeah, so and pretty much everything I've mentioned, the most important thing for you to remember is George Mason University is a location, we're located for opportunity. Being close to Washington, D.C., which is one of the top 10 cities in the United States to find a job. We have high graduates employment. So 82% of our graduates are employed within career goals. The #1 university for cybersecurity talent. And then also Northern Virginia is the future home of Amazon's second headquarters. So again, if you're making your decision to study in the United States, location is very important. You want to be close to the opportunities, and that's what George Mason is able to afford you. This is my contact details here. Again, do reach out to Nubi for any questions, but if you have any pertaining questions, you can feel free to reach out to me through email or on Skype. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much for your detailed presentation, Nana. So, I mean, there were two things I noted. One, job opportunities, and I believe we've learned that George Mason, prepares and connects career-ready students for post-graduation success. The university has developed a holistic and comprehensive career readiness formula, which serves as a guide for marketing, your students. And the fact that you have so many top companies in the vicinity is such a great thing. Another thing that I noted was, you offer multiple programs at undergraduate and postgraduate level, and the university is highly ranked in a number of courses, including cybersecurity, conflict resolution, and analysis. So George Mason is really a fantastic choice for international students to consider. I would now like to move on to Stuart Howells from University of South Florida. So sorry, Nana, if you could now stop screen sharing.
There we go. All right.
Yes, that's fine. Thank you.
Right, hello everyone. As I said, my name is Stuart Howells. I'm based here at the University of South Florida. As you might be able to tell, I'm not American. I am from the UK originally, but I've been living in the US for a number of years now, and I've spent the last year or so here in sunny Tampa. So I'm sure many of you, if you think of Florida, you have an idea of what you think Florida is. Beaches, tourism, lots of great things. And you'd be right, Florida is an amazing destination. But actually, more importantly for what we're talking to you now about, Florida is actually ranked the #1 best state in the US for higher education, and has been ranked such for the last 3 years. So if you're looking, you're thinking maybe of studying overseas to go to the best country in the world to study, the US, great place to get a degree, why not go to the best location in the best country for an overseas education? And that, I think rather surprisingly, is Florida. So now we're excited about Florida. I'll talk a little bit about the University of South Florida, USF. We are a large public research university. And I say large, just over 50,000 students studying with us across our 3 campuses. Just under 5,000 international students from 147 different countries, an incredibly diverse, friendly, welcoming international campus. We'll talk about the programs we offer, but over 200 bachelor's, master's, and PhDs programs offered across those 3 campuses. Very quickly, I just want to mention our 3 campuses. Tampa, that's where I am. That is the main campus. Across the 3 campuses, we offer a range of different programs and different learning experiences. So our main campus, Tampa, the one you see behind me as well, that's home to about 48,000 students currently studying with us, offering all of our programs, engineering, business, the life sciences, full range of programs offered at Tampa. St. Petersburg, it's a little bit smaller. It's about 4,000 students focusing mainly around business, social sciences, and the arts. Some fantastic, unique programs offered there. And then finally, Sarasota Manatee. This is by far our smallest, most in-person campus. Just over 2,000 students studying there. So very different student experiences, all within one university. At Sarasota, that's where we offer things in hospitality and business.
So sorry, I'm just going to mute the background noise.
Thank you. So as we talk about USF, everyone, there's lots of things to say. One of the things we're proudest of right now, we are officially America's fastest rising university. If we look at rankings, no other university has risen in both national and international rankings as quickly as USF. We're a relatively young university, founded in the 50s. We are now a top 50 public university in the US. Not just in one ranking, but across 5 different national and global rankings, put us as a top 50 public university. So we're incredibly proud of that. We're also a research university, 592 million in research expenditures last year. And we are also known as a university that's doing things with that research. We are ranked number 7 in the US and number 16 in the world for the number of patents awarded. So we are inventing things. We are creating new technologies based on the research that we are performing here at USF. We also, with all that great things happening, with the size of the campus and the resources we have, we're also ranked as one of the most best value, most affordable universities in the country. Our undergraduate tuition at just over 17,000 US dollars. So 17,324 this year. That's 17. So a very affordable option. Our graduate tuition, $15,000 per year. So again, a very affordable option if you're looking for a high quality education at a great university, but an affordable price. In terms of the programs we have, as I mentioned, over 200 different degrees on offer across 13 different colleges. We have the full range of computing, engineering, we have the business programs, entrepreneurship, business analytics, ranked top 50 in the world for our business analytics programs. We have the health related, public health, social work, we have education, we have the arts, we have the sciences, marine science in there as well. So incredibly diverse campus experience in terms of the degrees on offer at the university. I mentioned research and I'm going to mention entrepreneurship as well. As I said, you're Raj, tier 1 research university, considered a preeminent research university within the state of Florida. One of only 3 within the university system here that is a preeminent research university. Again, that focus on real world applications, so the number of patents being awarded, and ranked top 20 best universities for turning research into new technologies. And what we do with that is actually even more impressive. We are a fantastically entrepreneurial focused university, ranked in the top 10 in the US for entrepreneurship. Our USF Connect, which is part of a wider Florida-based project focusing on technology and supporting students with creating their own businesses, not just in technology, but in any field. So that full support, that study, if you want it, is available, and it's something that is really at the heart of what USF does as an institution. Not everyone wants to be an entrepreneur or an inventor. So if we talk about career support, again, so important. What are the outcomes? What's going to happen to a student when they graduate? On this slide, you're going to see some of the companies that have hired international students. So we currently have international students working on OPT, which you may have heard of, across the US and in Florida. Over a third of our students find employment opportunities here within the state of Florida. Because again, everyone's going to talk about the opportunities. If Florida was a country, it would be the 17th largest economy in the world. Its economy is actually larger than the United Arab Emirates, larger than Ireland, larger than Switzerland. So in terms of opportunities in technology, in finance, in banking, in business, in aeronautical, the opportunities absolutely exist here. In fact, our #1 export as a state is actually aircraft and aircraft parts. So things in aeronautical, obviously NASA is one of the largest employers in the state, with 2 huge launch facilities and research facilities based here as well. So again, absolutely opportunities exist within the state of Florida. Now, because of time, I'm trying to be quick here. That's the university. So much more I could talk about, but I know we want to talk about what's happening in fall. So fall 2020, campus will be open. Florida, the governor just approved our opening procedures. Campus will be open. Again, like a lot of universities, we are going to be operating in what has been referred to as a hybrid model, with face-to-face classes happening if students want. No student is going to be required to attend campus. If they want to go 100% online, they can do that. And obviously the latest SCVB guidance makes it a lot easier for students who are continuing their studies to do that. The percentage of study that will be online or on campus has not been confirmed yet, and is very much going to change based course to course. Some courses are talking about 50-50. 50% online, 50% on campus. Some courses are talking about it being up to 80% online and 20% on campus. So really going to vary depending on the major and the individual course and professor. On-campus housing will be open, but is not required. In the past, we have required undergraduate students to live on campus. We are not enforcing that as a university this year. So new students, if you want it on campus, absolutely it's available. But not required. And again, being a large university, there is a huge amount of off-campus housing in the surrounding area that will obviously be open as well. For those students who don't want to travel, maybe you're thinking, actually, you know what, Stuart, I'm fine. I'm going to stay here for fall. I'm going to go remote. Or can't travel if your flights still remain a challenge, getting into the country is issuing. Then 100% online will also be offered for all of our undergraduate programs and the majority of our graduate programs. If you are a new student, we've had a lot of students ask us these questions. I'm just to be clear, if you are a new student starting 100% online, no, you don't need to pay for things like housing. No, you don't need to pay for things like insurance. If you're staying remote and studying in your home country. The university, if you're interested in what USF is doing, the university does have a website. I've included it there. I'm sure Nubi will share this with you later. You can monitor what our opening plans look like. A little bit about online at USF. Different universities do online in different ways. Some universities, you'll hear them talking about e-campuses and almost a separate university that runs. USF doesn't do that. Online education has been fully ingrained within the way that USF teaches for basically as long as the internet's existed. We've fully embraced online as a part of our normal study experience for students. So much so that the majority of undergraduate students will take at least one online course during their studies, even before the last semester, even before the pandemic happened. We were already offering nearly 1,500 of our undergraduate and graduate courses online as an option for students before this happened to us. What that means is it's the same faculty, it's the same classes, it's the same quality assurance for students studying online versus studying in person on campus. Over 1,000 of our faculty have actually been trained specifically in the delivery of online education. So this is something that we were basically ready for. That switch to online that happened in fall, and then obviously continuing into in spring, and then continuing into the fall semester absolutely something USF has handled well and was ready for. And that means, as I said, all undergraduate courses, the majority of graduate programs also available. Again, just to summarize, length of semester, we get questions like this. It's going to be exactly the same. It is going to be a mixture of live and recorded classes. Things like tutoring, professor's office hours, etc., will of course be offered live. So you will be able to book appointments to have one-on-one sessions with your advisors or your tutors. We use a couple of different platforms, all built within your login. And again, these platforms existed anyway, because these are the same platforms that our on-campus students are using when they're doing online studies. So Canvas is the main sort of learning management system, where students access all their resources, etc. Finally, both the university and into USF have been offering additional scholarship support to students through this fall semester. So if any of you already applied to the university, got an offer for direct entry, if you did not receive a scholarship or a award from your department, there are specific awards for the fall semester that will be awarded when you register both online or in person. It doesn't matter. Those additional awards are being offered to all students, international, domestic, etc. Obviously, within the Into program, we do have what we call our Confirm with Confidence discounts and scholarships available on that already very affordable tuition. And with that, thank you very much. Go Bulls.
Go Bulls. Thank you very much, Stuart, for your presentation. A concern of students at the moment is, they feel there is an education quality gap between online learning and in-person education. They're worried that aspects of the course curriculum will be missing, if they're studying online as opposed to if they were on campus. So, one thing I noted whilst you were presenting was that, your online programs, will cover the same content. Students will receive the same academic expertise, and learning material, online compared to if they were on campus, so that is very reassuring for any, forthcoming international student who will be starting fall 2020 from overseas. Okay, so if we could
to follow up on that, yes. I would say there's something called Quality Matters, and it's a sort of an online quality assurance tool that a lot of universities do use to make sure that actually our online offering offers the same quality, the same experience as in person. Yes. And also on that, I think most universities, we recognize that, if you want to do an undergraduate degree in engineering, you need practical experience. Obviously, this is going to be hopefully, this is going to be a one semester thing. Yes. If you're an undergraduate student starting in engineering, you're not going to be in the labs in your first semester anyway. So you're really not missing out, because you're going to be doing those foundational courses, your Calculus 1, whatever it is, things that absolutely you can achieve and complete online, so that when you join us for the following years and the next 3.5 years of your degree, there's not going to be those issues. So again, we know for undergraduates especially, and for graduate students, departments are adjusting their schedules. They're looking at what what works best to be able to offer this. Okay, we'll offer this course online in fall, and obviously students will be joining us in spring, fingers crossed. And so those adjustments are being made to make sure that students will still have that quality and get the experiences they're looking for in those degrees.
Yes, thank you so much, Stuart. So now we will move on to our last delegate, Declan Okpara of Arizona State University. Hello, Declan.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Sorry. Now I have found the share screen.
Fantastic.
And I'll just share. I just wanted to play a short video. Okay, 1 minute.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay.
Hello from Arizona State University.
So we can't see the video, but we can see your screen. We can see a list of files.
Oh, okay. Okay, I would just share something else. Okay. Okay, stop sharing. All right, let me just go over the presentation. I'll probably see how to share the video much later.
Okay, we can see your first slide.
All right, so my name is Declan. I work with Arizona State University. I'm trying to make the presentation we usually use is more than 10 minutes, about 20 minutes. So I have to improvise. So I'm just trying to give you more pictures. Now, Arizona State University is, in the US is looked at as the #2 public university chosen by international students. And it's #1 for innovation. It's #1 for innovation. It's the top 1% for most prestigious universities. Now, it has various rankings. I will take my time not to say a lot. However, what I really want to sell as the two things I usually call the selling points. Now, there are 5 campuses, as you can see. Now, we have 5 campuses. I'll now take my time to talk about each of the campuses. Now, we have the downtown Phoenix campus. Now, for those of us in West Africa, the downtown Phoenix campus is the campus that is a blend of a regular university, say in Nigeria, and has a little life, it has a little life you can, and then has a little bit of everything. That's how the downtown campus is. Now, and then what's this one major thing in the downtown campus is that is where the Channel 8 news in the US is aired. It's run by the students in ASU. So it houses the mass communication department, the law and justice department. So now the good thing about the downtown campus is many of the students tend to do a lot of work on the Channel 8 news. They do a lot of production, they do a lot of cinematography, and they get paid for it. While I was in ASU, a couple of students were doing commercials, and they got a little something for doing something. While they were getting grades for it, they were also getting paid for it. So these are part of the things that are obtainable in the downtown campus. Now, another campus is the Tempe campus. Now, the Tempe campus is like the headquarters. So it's like the main campus. It's in Tempe, and now it has a number of campuses. It has a number of faculties, from the business faculty, the global school of management, different faculties. Now, one strong thing there is it also has the art and design faculty, that where you have architecture and where you have visual learning and different programs under the architecturing department. Now, in ASU, we pride ourselves with 2 things: fitness and health. Now, that is why all of these campuses have gyms. All of them have, they have all up-to-date gyms. They have all up-to-date labs. So every student is entitled to visit the gym, and there are gym instructors. Michael Phelps is one of the instructors for swimming. So basically, we have all these things on the campus. Another campus is the Poly campus, which is the Polytechnic campus. Now, the Polytechnic campus is a campus where you do more of practicals. Now, it's ASU is one of the universities in the US that you have a Polytechnic as a campus, and you still come out with a bachelor's. So the Polytechnic campus does majorly practical. So it's more practicals than theoretical. The students tend to do a lot of stuff. Now, another campus is the West campus. Now, I call it a green campus. It's very green, and it's very quiet, very serene. So if you have students that want to go to serene campuses, now that's one place they can go. Now, these 4 campuses, a student can commute within the 4 campuses. There are buses waiting at the bus stops in school, and the campuses are 15 minutes to one another. So these 4 campuses. Now, a student can take a program. His main campus could be in Tempe campus, but he can decide to have courses in the downtown campus, the Poly campus, and the West campus, just to have a feel of all the 4 campuses. Now, the 5th campus is the ASU, the Lake Havasu campus. Now, the Lake Havasu campus is the campus that does majorly undergraduate programs, and it's a community-focused campus. Now, I don't know if we've heard of the London Bridge, the American story of the London Bridge. Now, that's one of the tourist attractions in Havasu. That's where the campus is located. And the strong selling point for that campus is the tuition fees. The tuition fees for all the programs on that campus range from $9,848 to as much as $11,000. So if you have undergraduate students that are looking for cheap places to go to, the Lake Havasu campus is one place they can go to. And then they can get scholarships on it ranging from $1,600 to as much as $5,600. Now I'll show you the rest of it. Now, if you look at what I was looking at in the Phoenix campus, the Phoenix is a city. Now, all the campuses have the opportunity for each student to visit. We have the Sedona and all that, the Sedona, the Grand Canyon. Now, as part of orientation activities, students are given the opportunity to visit the story site, for students who have not been to the Grand Canyon before. I know the American folks probably have visited it before. So these are part of what the students are entitled to get. Now, how do you get into ASU? For you to be able to get into ASU, for undergraduate students, your CGPA has to range from at least 2.5 to as high as you can go, but the least you should be able to go to get in for undergraduate programs is the CGPA after all your grades are calculated to about 2.5. And that means you would have a little bit of A's, a little bit of B's, and a little bit of C's, but not really all C's all through. Now, we have a wide range of courses. Now, I am yet to see, we have a wide range of courses. I'll just show you a list. Now, all these courses are obtainable. Now, ASU, Arizona State University, has the opportunity for pathways, but all these courses you can see on my screen, you can go into any of these courses directly, so you don't have to go via the pathway. But from the undergraduate perspective, so if you look at my screen, I know it's quite small, a wide range of courses, and now they're color-coded. The D would mean the downtown campus, the W will be the West campus. That's where originally these courses are. So basically, with this wide range of courses, you'll be able to get in or get what exactly you want from studying. Now, part of what I'm supposed to say in my presentation is how ready are we given the pandemic? Now, for those of the students that want to study in ASU, now all the programs at the moment are already online. All the programs are online at the moment. But for fall, we'll be having what is called a blended learning. We'll be having blended learning. And so for blended learning means that you can do a little bit of you can start online and then you can continue, you can start online and then continue the face-to-face. Thankfully, the policy that was going to push international students for doing online programs has been taken away. So has been receded. So basically, this is what I'll be able to say for ASU. Now, if you want to, for students or parents that have questions about ASU, you can shoot me an email at declan.upper@kaplan.com. So thank you very much, Anne.
Thank you so much for your presentation, Declan.
I was trying to still see if I could play the video though.
Okay, let's see. That's fine.
Right, let me stop sharing first.
Okay.
Then hold on. Okay, just
Hello from
then. Okay, I don't think I know how to share the video. So.
That's perfectly fine. Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. So, I mean, what in the short time we had, what we've learned on ASU is it's highly ranked for multiple courses, you know, across different disciplines. It offers, you know, both direct entry and pathway options, and providing that students meet the eligibility requirements, and it also offers affordable tuition. We will now move on to the panel discussion, and I'm sure lots of our students would have questions for both your university as well as the other delegates' universities. Okay, so I was receiving questions privately during the presentations. So the first one is with regards to online tuition. I mean, we've all learned that all your universities are working continuously to provide future plans that respect the ambitions and needs, the educational goals of international students during this period of enormous uncertainty. All your universities place great value on the presence of international students, and you're all planning on reopening in for 2020. You're placing priority on in-person instruction. However, for international students that are restricted by, you know, travel bans, closure of borders, etc., you know, you have online delivery available. And as mentioned previously, we have all learned that your online options cover the same academic contents, they have the same quality of education, and students, you know, are still guaranteed, you know, for success, even if they complete part of their programs online. Okay, so this first question is, will there be a tuition fee reduction if I'm taking online classes during the fall semester? So with regards to the questions, they're not directed at any delegate in particular, so anybody can answer.
And certainly for USF, the quick answer is no. Our tuition, as I said, is already incredibly low. Running online courses actually costs us quite a lot of money. As I said as well, the university and the Into program are offering additional scholarships for that fall semester. So whilst tuition has not changed, there are greater opportunities for scholarships and reductions through that route.
Yeah, we're the same as what Stuart just mentioned. Our tuition hasn't changed, but we are giving students 10 to 20% discount off of the pathway programs. And then direct entry does have additional scholarships ranging between, I believe, for undergrad, 2,000 all the way to 10,000. And then for grad, it's about $5,000 to $7,000.
It is the same case for Algonquin College in Canada. Although students who are taking a remote program from overseas may request to opt out of certain extra ancillary fees such as health insurance or bus pass. However, the tuition fee itself remains the same.
Well, from me, from ASU, the fees are not changing. The fees wouldn't change for online, but then part of what was introduced is for undergraduate students, you tend to get as much as 40 to 50% off your tuition fees. Some students have gotten 14,000, 15,000 off their tuition fees. So there are more opportunities to get discounts, but the tuition fee for online program will not change it. I mean, it's already very cheap because you will not be paying for accommodation, you will not be paying for insurance until you start the face-to-face learning. So the quality is the same. It's just the different the platform of teaching. So.
Thank you very much. Another question is with regards to health and safety on campus. So how will public spaces be physical distancing be managed in lecture theaters? Again, this question is for anybody.
Again, I mean, for USF, classroom spaces will actually be reduced capacity. So we will operate a maximum of 25% in a classroom. So if it used to hold 100, it now only holds 25 people. So things like that will be drastically reduced. As we talked about with the hybrid model, larger lectures, things like that will actually happen remotely, even if they are on campus. They will still be, remote learning for some of those larger lectures. Public spaces will be managed. A lot of this, we are going to look to students to take some responsibility. So things like, masks will be required on campus, both inside and outside, and things like that. There's a full sort of 35-page document that outlines just public space management for us. So there's a lot of different things in place, but yeah.
Thank you very much. This question is for Kathy Lee from Algonquin. So this inquirer would like to know if the college offers a graduate certificate program in sociology and approximately how much the fee is.
So our graduate certificate programs is not really a theory-based learning. So we do not have programs such as sociology or philosophy or history. It will be more programs like that are more applied, like digital health or retirement communities management. So a lot of more applied learning focused in a very specific industry that helps students get jobs. So we may not have a specific program in sociology. And the other question was regarding tuition. So so students can budget about $9,000 per Canadian dollars per semester for tuition fee. So this varies a little bit between programs, but $9,000 to $10,000 per semester will cover the tuition fee. So mostly graduate certificates are 2-semester programs or sometimes 3-semester programs. So you would just multiply that by the number of semesters that's in your program.
Thank you very much, Kathy. Another question I received is, so this is again for any of the delegates to answer, would all classes again move to remote instruction if there is a resurgence of the virus?
Yeah, I think in the US, I think one of the plans that a lot of universities are looking at, well, actually, let me just take it a step back. So with George Mason University, we've put together a committee called the Tiger Team. And their job is essentially to do exactly what you're saying, to monitor COVID cases in the Virginia area as well as the other surrounding areas. And one of the reasons why we've gone hybrid is to allow for that. So we have gotten feedback from the CDC saying that, especially around when the flu happens again in November, later in this year, November, December, there are chances that there could be a second spike. So that's why the classes are hybrid, to allow for that. If there does become a second spike, then professors do already have plans to push those students to an online format and do a quarantine period. So for international students, it's key because You just got to prepare for that. So if you're living on campus or off campus, we are working on making sure we're providing plans or putting plans together to provide students with any kind of help that we can if that does happen.
And I would say a lot of universities in the US, and I'm sure just Mason in USF certainly, have already announced that actually after the Thanksgiving break, they will be 100% online. So it's about 2 weeks of the semester, the last 2 weeks of the semester. We're actually already planning that actually we're going to switch from hybrid to 100% online for those last 2 weeks, just in terms of, addressing the issues around people traveling for the Thanksgiving break, or also, that risk of that spike happening in the November period. So.
Thank you very much.
I'm just going to jump in.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
I'm
just going to jump in. I have another meeting booked at 11:30 here. I'm so sorry, I will need to jump out. But if anyone has any more questions about Algonquin College, you can always reach out to our partner, Nubi Education, or to Algonquin College International directly. So I'm sorry, I will have to miss the last part of the Q&A, but please excuse myself, and I'll see you, everyone.
That's perfectly fine. Thank you so much for your time today, Kathy. It was lovely having you on here. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so another question that I received is, again, with regards to virtual learning. What if I'm not able to resume campus in fall and I'm in another time zone? Will I be restricted to the assigned time of my classes?
Not necessarily. So I think, and I don't want to answer for Stuart, but I think a lot of the US schools are looking at, again, course delivery methods where you can submit your assignments, right? Not in the same time zone. So we as a university, we're looking at, our professors are going to be scheduling these classes. Some of them are planning, for example, to set a time that is convenient for all time zones. So maybe having it in the US, in the evening. One of the professors was like, I'm going to have my class at 8 p.m. because then a student, in China can do it this way. But then my other section of the class is going to be 8 a.m. So there are different times that we're scheduling classes for. As well, you can also record and listen to, or you can actually review recordings. So a lot of professors will record the lectures like how we're doing now. They'll record it, and then you can view it and listen to it in your own time zone and then respond back to it as well. There is that sense of collaboration that you're going to have where it's live, and some of those will happen in different time zones. But again, the professors are looking at the ways to make sure that you're not sitting up at 1 a.m. in the evening, in the early morning, having to be on a live session. But that's something that we're working on. So when you do select your classes, just make sure that you are, obviously if you're going to be back home, you're making sure that your class time is not the same time, it's not evening time when you're in Nigeria as opposed to being in the US.
Thank you very much, Anna. Another question that I have seen in the chat box is for admission to a US university for undergraduate study, is the SAT are the SATs compulsory? So is it a compulsory admission requirement?
I've literally just typed an answer to that question.
Oh, okay.
SAT requirements will really vary by institution. So USF, we do require it for admission and for scholarship consideration. Some universities may not require it for admission, but may require it for scholarships applications. Some universities may not require the SAT from international students at all. So there's no quick answer. That is really going to depend on the individual institution and looking at their specific requirements. As I said, for USF, we use it for admission and for scholarships. I'll let Nana and Declan confirm.
So it's the same thing. Oh yeah, Nana, you go.
Oh yeah, so for George Mason University, we only require SAT for admission for engineering, engineering direct. So if you do not want to do the SAT, you don't have to do it for any of the other programs. But engineering, for direct entry engineering, we do require SAT math, and you have to have a minimum 520 on that math section. Now, when it comes to scholarships at the direct entry level, we do take SATs into consideration if you want a higher amount of scholarship. Typically, if you want more of about between a $10,000 to $18,000 scholarship range, you have to have a combined score in the SAT of 1,400 or higher. But other than that, we don't require SAT. So it's only for direct entry engineering and if you want a higher amount of scholarship.
Thank
Yeah, so
you so much, everyone.
pretty much the same
Sorry,
thing.
Declan.
Yeah, so I was saying pretty much the same thing, basically. It's not a requirement at ASU, but it doesn't hurt if you take it. It's not a compulsory requirement for both admissions and scholarship. It's not a compulsory requirement. What's the compulsory requirement for us is your transcripts if you're going for undergraduate, and then your WIAC if you're doing the undergrad, and then your transcripts if you're doing the graduates, and then your certificate. So that's more compulsory than the SATs or the GREs.
And just to address, I know this year, because of COVID situations, we don't, in terms of scholarships, we're not really looking at it that much because we know some students, we went online during the middle of the semester. So our direct entry team isn't really, they're looking at them, but they're not taking, that's not the full consideration that they normally would take in terms of looking at the SAT. And some places you can't even register for it right now. So, if you don't have it, again, it's not a big deal, but if you do have it, we'll take it.
Thank you very much, everyone. So, sorry, I'm just gonna check for other questions. Okay, this question is for University of South Florida, Stuart. An inquirer would like to clarify the fees for public health masters.
So public health falls under obviously our graduate programs. Estimated tuition, assuming a normal credit load, is about 15,800. So 15,800.
Thank you very much, Stuart.
Per year.
Thank you. So I know, yes, some of you mentioned scholarships. So this person, I'll just read out their question. We're all aware of the pandemic's financial impact on families. Can you confirm if your universities will render financial assistance to those that are unable to afford the full cost of education? Will you be offering merit-based discounts in the form of scholarships or needs-based financial aid through bursaries?
Yeah, we are offering some scholarships. I think for all the universities, we're offering some scholarships, but at George Mason, we don't do full scholarships. We do offer up to, right now for the fall, we're offering between 10 to 20% scholarships depending on your program and requirement. So the best way for you to make sure that you are eligible for scholarship is to apply. Once you apply, put your application in through Nubi. Once we get the application, we'll let you know what you qualify for. But yeah, we do have some available. We just don't do full scholarships. At the graduate level, we are still doing assistantships, graduate assistantships. Most of those are becoming remote, but those are still happening. It's just those also happen post-application acceptance.
Thank you very much. I will check for other questions in our chat box. Okay, so I see we have a question for Kathy of Algonquin, who was our Canadian college representative. She's no longer here, but we would be happy to forward your inquiry to her, and we'll revert with her feedback as soon as we've heard back from her. Okay, so I would like to say a very big thank you to all of our university representatives. Thank you for providing us with detailed information on your universities and your COVID-19 action plans. I'm now going to pass on to the Nubi Education Executive Director.
She's muted.
Ma, it seems that you're muted.
Wow, I've learned so much today. Information just loaded with information from my head. Well, thank God we've come to the end of this session. I would like to thank our partners for taking time out to share with the families the invaluable resources they have, and to also to reassure them that North America, despite all odds, is a safe study destination. So that is very reassuring. We are happy to hear that this afternoon. And then we also thank our families, our parents that took time out of their busy schedule to be here to join us. I'm sure you received the information, this information that you received this session, most helpful in making informed decisions about your study plans. We are interested in helping our students. I see that so many of you are asking for assistance, financial assistance, because of the pandemic and all the problems that came with it. But we from at Nubi Education, we're very interested in helping our parents to meet their dreams and their educational aspirations. So we have an arrangement with 2 leading banks in Nigeria. We have an arrangement that if your parents have very good jobs and they have good income stream, we can link you up to our bankers who will be ready to offer some bridging loans, and that is what we have worked out with 2 banks. So they are ready to help you if you have good income stream and good jobs, because you know the banks, they're all a source of repayment. They really want to know that you have good source of repayment. So that is a good thing that we have worked out for our students. And so we just want to also remind you that this session is recorded. So we'll be sending the recordings to everyone that's here today and those that registered and cannot make it. It's also in YouTube, and also we send it to our partner schools in Nigeria. So it's not going to be just today's information. And then also, if you want to have one-on-one with our partners, please let us know. We will arrange the visual meeting with them, because it's also good for you to have one-on-one, and then you can, ask all the questions maybe you couldn't ask today. And so I say thank you and have a beautiful afternoon. And those of you in North America, you have a beautiful morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely afternoon.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, bye. Stuart,
Bye.
it was good to see you again.
You too, Declan. Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah. All right. And Nana, good to see you too.
Same
Bye.
Take care.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.